Welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. Sorry I'm running a few minutes late. I was busy basically doing some dinner up and all that and lost track of time. But anyway, we are here just in time before kickoff gets underway. The draw has happened, but it's got a lot to talk about already. Obviously, Man City versus Chelsea is why we're here. FA Cup third round. The runners up for the last 3 years, Chelsea, away to Man City, who for the last 3 seasons have been in the semi-final and lost. So it's basically two of the favourites either way going into this tournament anyway. Two of the favourites going head to head. We've already lost Newcastle this week and we almost lost Liverpool. And Arsenal still yet to play tomorrow against Oxford. But to add all that to the equation, and this stream was pre-planned well before the draw. We are doing it, obviously, as an Arsenal show. We are doing Oxford versus Arsenal tomorrow, but the draws has happened for the FA Cup fourth round, which I'm totally against it. The draw should be done once all the games over the weekend are done with. So after the Arsenal game, basically in this instance, after Arsenal play Oxford tomorrow, the draws will be done then. You ain't got all these if, buts and maybes apart from the replays, which again I don't agree with them being back this year, but the FA what the FA are. But the draw's been made. And the winners of this game face Arsenal in the next round of the FA. Oxford or Arsenal in the next round of the FA Cup. I didn't actually see if one sec, because as I literally saw it, I was like, oh, fuck this, I can't be asked. Yeah. So if Arsenal were to get through tomorrow against Oxford, we will be away again in the next round to either Man City or Chelsea. And now that's sort of sculpted my my view and things in terms of before that I wanted go away, Tom. I wanted City to win just to piss off Chelsea fans because I hate Chelsea. I hate Chelsea, but you know what? And both teams, by the way, have made a lot of changes. There's no Haaland start. He's on the bench. De Bruyne on the bench. For example, Everest is starting up top. Laporte. There's a few youngsters playing as well. The shaky goalkeeper they've got at Man City, he's starting. I don't like him, but it is what it is. Didn't see the draw. Who did it? I'll check for you. I'll double check because I got too flabbergasted by what just happened at the draw. But I will check for you, my friend. Bear with me. No, I think you got check. I'm trying to think now. I think they might have had a championship team. I think we double check that actually. But yeah, both teams made changes. There's a few senior players, literally out of the entire 22. There's a few from both sides. But now with the draw being happening, what's happened? I want Chelsea to go through. No, at no cost whatsoever. I want Chelsea through. So we go to the bridge, knock out Chelsea, can rub it into my next door neighbour, and enjoy it that bit more. Because I cannot do. Even though I fancy us against City, I do not want us playing Man City and pretty much back to back. Oh, Gianluca Vianney obviously passed away early hours of Friday morning, so we're just doing a minute's applause at the Etihad for him. Ex-Chelsea manager, player, Premier League legend, Italy legend as well, part of the Italian setup, coaching-wise, for the team that won the Euros in 2020 as well. Lost his battle, his short but brutal battle with cancer recently. Bernie, that's it. There you go. So Tom's giving it away. Giving it for you in the chat, Stefan. We've got another Avine crew there. Woohoo! Not Avine, I'm a Celebrity crew, sorry. Oh, that's the point, because you obviously, even though you didn't get knocked out and you didn't win, but you're in a draw, so potentially, who have Leeds got? I missed them as well. Who have Leeds potentially if they get through in their replay? I don't like the replays. I hate that. It was so much better for the last 2 years when we didn't have the replays involved. Yeah, at all. You can now stop going. I stopped. Boreham Wood or Accrington Stanley at home to Cardiff or Leeds. Oh, come on, Boreham Wood. Oh, man. Boreham Wood is they're decent. They did well. They did fantastic last year. 5th round last year. They did well to fight back to that yesterday and could have won it, from what I've seen in the highlights. But we are underway. Need to get scoreboard up. Apparently so. Yet another part of the FA is planning to mystify the cup. They aren't fit for purpose. FM, yeah. I don't like draw. I used to, again, I'm part of a generation growing up. FA Cup draw was done after every game at weekend had been played. And when it started moving over to Monday, we're playing on a Monday, but after all the games have been played. No, it's just hit and miss everywhere. It's like the League Cup draws all over the place. That used to be on the last night, after 2 nights, it'd been the last night after the last game, once you knew everyone was through. Not when everyone's through. We could do the draw now in the Carabao Cup, but no, we're going to take the draw to the Middle East next month and do it. Get my scoreboard from the other night because I didn't usually use it. Right, 1 second. Just got to change the 1 to a 0. No. Need to change it. That's what I need to change. Right, here we go. Need it, man. Obviously, City are going to be massive favourites after the draw. Now the draw's been done, know what's the consequence of it all. I want Chelsea to get through, get the easier draw. It's a London derby away, but I fancy us. I fancy us both, but I don't want Man City so close to like Man City in a cup, so close to the league game at the Emirates. I can't be doing that. No. Screw that for a game of toy soldiers. So it would literally be, if I'm correct. Obviously, after Oxford tomorrow, if we get past Oxford tomorrow, because we can't do what Newcastle did and underestimating all that. But assuming we get through tomorrow, we then have Tottenham, United, and I need to check the dates, but I believe either a cup game, then Everton, or Everton, and then the cup game, and then City in the league. So no, either way, no. Not for me. I was Tom was at Leeds. I was laughing at Leeds somehow avoiding defeat to be fair. I actually thought, because I didn't how you can watch the game online or on the red button or whatever they call it nowadays, interactively. I forgot that you were kicking off. I thought you were kicking off like this now, so I completely forgot about it. And then I saw the score with 10 minutes before, just before their player got a red card, gave away a penalty. Yeah, I was just like, I got bloody hell. Need to get their head out their arses here. Then obviously the red card happened. Penalty was given, and you missed it. And I think, and it was on RTV1. I think, I don't know. Again, I'll get into it in a sec. I'll get off this bit. But I was going to say, when you missed the penalty, I was like, okay, that's it. They're done for. Cardiff will hold out now. They're parked up us and they'll hold out. And then obviously you got the goal at the end, with a few minutes to spare in injury time. So yeah, it could have been disaster, but you salvaged something from the depths of disaster, put it that way. But getting onto it now, in terms of BBC and ITV, by the way, I'm going to go after now. Now, the FA Cup. I've grown up with the FA Cup. Love it. I'm part of that last generation that still loves the FA Cup for what it's always been. Never devalue it and anything like that. Helps when helps on a sport team that actually does well in it as well. Has that success. So go on, Chelsea. I can't have this shit. But yeah, BBC and ITV. I mean, they both have the rights in England for the FA Cup, respectively. They share the rights. Last year, it was again. It's forced upon ITV, so I can get what they're a bit all over the place there. The screen went blank there. What happened there? The screen went blank. No, yeah, screen went blank on my screen. I was like, what the fuck? Is what power gone or something? Power cut. That's just fucking taking over, fucking cutting our power off. But anyway, that's all that. But again, last year I could understand ITV because it was last minute under the bus because BT lost the rights at the last minute to showing anything at the FA Cup or Community Shield, and it. So I don't like that. ITV's opening titles I don't like, but anyway, and they, to be fair to them, on their games last year they were advertising. No matter who they had, they were advertising it, which is fair enough. Like properly, like ramming it home, even. But this year, BBC, yeah. But this year, both of them have sort of joined forces and gone, nah, screw it, and just gone. They haven't bothered. I mean, look, Man City v Chelsea, yeah. After they picked all their games, respectively, the games they're going to cover on the actual broadcasting side of things on ITV1, ITV4, BBC One and BBC Two, respectively, and or iPlayers, respectively. But the ones that are going to be on actual terrestrial TV, once they pick them, you'd think, especially going up as football coming after the World Cup, going into just going to the new year and all that last week, you'd think they'll start up in the antes, really ramping up, advertising. Right, Friday night, this is a game we're starting at Man United Everton. We're going to advertise it in terms of actual advert spots on their respective channels for their respective games. They ain't done fuck all. They really haven't, and it pisses me off because then they wonder why. They wonder why the value of the FA Cup is getting devalued year on year out now. It started with Sir Alex in '99 when he did what he did. 2000, sorry. When he did what he did, partway through the cup. Started there. It's been going ever since in terms of how the new generation coming through have seen the FA Cup, how they don't really respect it that much. That weren't a foul. Get up. I love the FA. Tom saying, I love the FA Cup being on free TV, but it says a lot when that Sky and BT don't want it. No, all their fucking. And then again, that's another thing. All Sky and BT are worried about is Champions League, which isn't helping the domestic cups in this situation. Because all they're worried about, first and foremost, BT are worried or fully focused on. By the way, financially, by the skin of their teeth, then they're hanging on to this, by the way. But all they've been focused on financially is keeping all the Champions League rights away from Sky. And Sky have been vice versa. They're trying to get the rights back from BT. But they've done it in a way where now, financially, the reason why FA Cup hasn't been on BT now for this season now and last season, it's financially they've put themselves in the ground because they've overpaid massively on having the rights for the Champions League, BT, and they're literally on hence why the quality of content they have now is basically getting worse. Basically, the coverage of sporting events they have now is not because they're just fully focused on. They have to sort of recoup it via the Champions League, and they have to make cuts elsewhere. But it's just ridiculous because of them two doing that. Obviously, the FA Cup's now free on the free-to-air channels. It was always on BBC when Sky had it, and BT came along, took the rights for the FA Cup as well. You were half the weekend would be on BBC. ITV briefly for a few years, but mainly on BBC. But because they're Sky and BT have solely gone out their way to just focus on having the rights for Champions League or winning the rights back for Champions League. That in itself devalues the FA Cup because you're literally, it's just. Oh, one sec. Is that Kepa's in goal, I was going to say. Just, but as I say, it's because they are literally fighting it out. As I was saying, that's it. That devalues itself. The FA, what the FA Cup means and all that, because they're focusing on a non-domestic thing because it has done the Real Madrid. If they could come together, or individually, one of them got their head up their asses and went, you know what, I use Sky because I'll be honest, I prefer Sky's coverage of the FA Cup to BT. BT is awful. So in one sense, I'm thankful that they had to at the last minute, drop the ball and lose the rights to the FA Cup because Jesus Christ, it was awful. But if, for example, if Sky could get their head out of their backsides and go, you know what? Not only are we going to focus, Sky. Not only are we going to focus on getting back to the Champions League, we're going to put the same amount of focus on getting the FA Cup back on Sky as well. Because of the platform they have, don't because they do that. Don't then hike the price up. Keep the prices, the packages, and everything you got at the moment at the same price. You'd be amazed at the money you recoup back on that then. Because people would tune in because you're adding quality content, not just Champions League but FA Cup Wales as well. Because you still get the drama of the FA Cup. We obviously saw yesterday Sheffield Wednesday at home to Newcastle. I know it's Newcastle's B team at the start, but still a strong enough squad that should have put out Sheffield Wednesday, home or away. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Fucking hell, Chelsea. Do you know what? How can they call that defending? Jesus Christ. Changing the kickoff time of the final to suit American TV times was just that pissed me off as well. Especially in the last few years. Because again, FA Cup final was always another thing I get on. FA Cup final itself, Cup final day, that was it. That was a big event made here in the UK for anyone that's old enough to remember. Like coverage of the FA Cup final itself, no matter who was in the final, it could be for example, trying to think now. For example, Arsenal v Ipswich, as we've got Stefan in the chat. That FA Cup final itself, the coverage of that final would have started like 11 o'clock in the morning, midday. There's coverage of that, and that would carry and the broadcast would continue all the way through till the 3 o'clock kickoff, and then literally come the final whistle, the trophy lifting, and the interviews and all that. It will continue to what, half six in the evening. Once they got everything, all the aftermath of the actual final whistle and all that. But it was made a big deal out of. Then out of nowhere, they've gone, as you've mentioned in the chat there, they'd always sort of, in terms of changing the time, they've changed the time, as you say, to suit the American viewers over in the States, to get more viewers over there as well. Not the greatest, but that wasn't, again, I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. But the main thing over here was the coverage, as I say, went from being pretty much an all-day thing from like 11 in the morning all the way through to 6:30 in the evening. And then it would continue covered in the after effects of the day on the news outlets and etc., and the highlights and all that. Since BBC lost it for a few years to ITV, the whole thing went out the window. ITV just threw that out the window, basically, straight from the off. We want to do something different. We're going to go live an hour before kick-off. That's all we're getting. And you'll get 20, 25 minutes, if that, depending on who wins it, to cover them, do the interviews and all that, and the trophy lifting. And then BBC won the rights back from ITV before ITV got it back recently, or partly back anyway. And BBC sort of, instead of going, you know what, we're going to go back to what we had, the model we had, which pulled in the viewers, especially in the cup final all day. Oh no, we're going to continue the model that ITV put in place. I don't agree. I'm part of that last generation that actually loves the FA Cup to the point. What's that? To the point, sorry, where even if Arsenal aren't in the cup final, I want to watch that FA Cup final. Unless it's Tottenham, obviously, but very rarely that happens. So, had to get that in there. So, oh, Mel, no, he can't get behind his feet. He's a moron. This game's, we're 15 minutes in, and we haven't really spoke about the game. 15 minutes in, 15 and a half, anyway. But, so yeah, as I was saying, I'm part of that generation that just keep repeating it to all of you guys and anyone that new comes to the channel. I'm part of that last generation that really appreciates the FA Cup even now and loves the FA Cup and gets excited about the FA Cup, even the third round ties and all that. That even if Arsenal do get knocked out, even as a kid, I'll still watch the FA Cup final. And that's not winning, but they're never apart from the one final they're in my lifetime, all the other finals they've not been in, so I've not had that worry. So I was like, you know what? Again, because I love the FA Cup because it is the best knockout competition ever, and even in the way they do the lack of coverage and promotion it gets nowadays from BBC and ITV now, and in general, really, it still has that magic of, and we saw yesterday, anything can happen. We've seen last season with Bournemouth, they went all the way to the fifth round, almost knocked out Everton. Not a major thing, and they did do it, but you know what I mean. In terms of them, because they're a non-league team going to Everton, taking them all the way to extra time, and really making them have to work for it and push and push and push and push. You don't get that in any other cup. You don't get it in the League Cup because it's sort of rigged. I don't care what it is. Even broadcast about the new sponsor came on, you could tell. Because of that, it doesn't have, either way, it doesn't have that same excitement. But the FA Cup is like all the clubs in the country coming together, and there's non-league clubs like Bournemouth. A couple of years back, Sutton United and Lincoln City at the time when they were non-league. You're giving them a platform to put themselves out there to get more revenue for their club from the TV side, but to show that obviously we can, even though these are big names we're going up against. For example, Arsenal versus Sutton a couple of years back in 2017. Even though we did batter them, but up to that point they were proven because they did knock out some big hitters along the way, getting to us in the quarterfinal. The quarterfinal was non-league at the time. Non-league Lincoln City getting to a quarterfinal of the FA Cup against the Arsenal away from home. That was huge for them. But you look at that season, the teams they knocked out, and Sutton the same season as well. It's just, no matter what they do, you don't lose that one sec. How the Palmer missed an absolute sitter there? But you don't miss that. No matter how my point is, no matter how much they devalue the FA Cup, we haven't lost the core, the magic of the cup, because these non-league teams, or from using non-league teams as an example, man, because they're doing really well the last few years in the FA Cup. Bournemouth last year, fifth round, and then yesterday, 1-0 down to Accrington Stanley of League 2 or League One, sorry. Yeah, League 1, 2 leagues above them, 1-0 down at home, but fought back 1-0, could have won it. They've now got potential. They've got an absolute belt of. If they can knock out Accrington in the replay, they've got a belter of an FA Cup fourth round title to look forward to. And I mean, Stefan's one of the. You're in the chat. After you're old enough to remember, but winning the FA Cup with Ipswich against Arsenal, ironically in '78. Part of our 3-year hiatus, not hiatus, but our 3-year glory, like getting to the final back every year for the 3 years in a row, winning 1, losing 2. You were the first. Obviously, that was the first final. We got 2 out of 3 and lost it. Came back the following year, won it against United. Came back the following year to defend it and lost it to West Ham. That's it, yeah, Mr. Tom, yeah. Sutton beat Leeds in the third round of the FA Cup. I remember that as well. It was, yeah, third round of the FA Cup. And I think, is it 1-0 or 2-0? Something like that. It's 1 or 2 goals in it, basically. And they just, that's a foul. How's that not a foul? I actually think football is too big now. I mean, yeah, in a European sense, yeah. As I said, as I referred to before, it's the fact that Sky and BT are fighting back and forth to have the rights to Champions League and not really giving a shit about the domestic cups doesn't help things. This game is so fucking. I thought fucking, was it Thursday night was bad? Jesus Christ. Do you support the idea, says Chris, of giving the FA Cup winner a Champions League place? In the modern day now, yeah. This is the thing. Because what was it? It used to be. They got rid of it now. In the last couple of 3 or 4 years, they got rid of that. This the reward, because not only would you get a cash reward, they then added briefly. The FA Cup winner would get a. We dived a diving for it before he got fouled. The FA Cup winner would get a spot. If they didn't finish in the European spot, basically in the league, they didn't finish top 4 or in Europa League, UEFA Cup, Europa League, we're going to call it now. Didn't finish in those spots in the league, but he went on to win the FA Cup or League Cup. They would get a spot in the Europa League. But I'm seeing Colonel's just put in the chat. So that means City about a score from free kick. And then some, yeah. So that was the thing. But if the winner won it and he was the winner was in the Champions League spots or Europa League spots already, that spot they would be given to him would go as the runner-up if they weren't in it. If it's both teams in the final in the Champions League or Europa League, then the spot that would be normally given to one of them two would go to the next spot down in the league. So I mean, I'm in favor. I would be in favour of that because it gives an added an added bonus, basically. And as you've seen in the last 20 years now, occasionally we get the odd upset where, like, so Wigan or something, or even Leicester win the FA Cup against the odds. Bloody hell, there's a game against Chelsea. Oh. Chelsea, you had one job now. You had one job. You let me down. God's sake. Back with that, I'm eating my food. Fucking bastards. Paul, what's the wall doing? Why is it so far the other side of a goal? Yeah, that's why I wanted them. That's why I wanted them to win. Cause an upset, knock out City. We do our job tomorrow night. Chelsea v Arsenal in the next round. We knock out Chelsea. Well, hey, bring on the 5th round of the FA Cup. But no, Chelsea think no, we can't do that. It was Heston. Yeah, fucking Heston. That's recent as well. Jesus, that was recent in the last few years as well, wasn't it? Early rounds of the FA Cup. Back when you was in that. But both them times when you got knocked out by Heston and Sutton, respectively, it was when you was like in the Championship, I believe. So it wasn't like you were a Premier League club. It was still a big sculpt because obviously it's Leeds United, but Leeds are still a big club, especially against a team like Sutton or Heston, basically. I mean, was it years ago? Like 2000, I think what year it was now. Was it 2007? I think it was. Haven't and Waterlooville. put a little run together, and what was it, the third or fourth round of the FA Cup, they got Liverpool and knocked them out at Anfield under Rafa Benitez. And they went on again. They went then fourth or fifth round they got to. They put themselves out there, basically, to give themselves give their players a platform to obviously other clubs, but also financially for the club itself to get more revenue in. Oh, so what they beat? Who was it? Who was it? Anfield. Yes, it was. Oh, it wasn't now. Can't remember. They weren't having Waterloo, but either way, they did. Again, they not recently, but they've got history of. I must have got it wrong then. Who was it? Liverpool. Not. It was a non-league team. It was not a non-league or League Two team. One of the two. Third round of the cup. Third or fourth round anyway. Anfield. And I can't remember who the goalkeeper was. He was only there for one season as well, but mainly because of how poor he was against this team. Put it that way. What's his name now? But basically, my point is that obviously, no matter what, so no matter how many leagues away you are, or league positions away, and all that malarkey, or the golfing class in terms of a team of world class players and your part timers, the part timers still believed. Shrewsbury, that's it. Shrewsbury might be in Shrewsbury. Haven't took the league twice. This is Chelsea. Fucking awful. This is painful. This is a piss poor game, by the way. And aside from the goal that scored literally by Mahrez a few minutes ago, is there a penalty? Is there? Oh God, that means this game can be over, isn't it? Fuck's sake. 5-2 Liverpool against Havant Waterloo film. Okay, it must be in Shrewsbury then, or someone of that ilk. And it literally says out of nowhere, and this is when in the successful-ish years of Liverpool under Benitez, because I know it was under Benitez, I know that much, because he got slammed because they got knocked out that early on. Yeah, if he goes that, no, I've just seen it now, Colonel and everyone in the chat. What your guys are referring to, yeah, and what if Alvarez uses his brain there and just goes, as soon as he gets to contact, just realise he's run out of them anyway. Oh no, this is that. But how did that not get noticed? Oh, the rest been sent over. Oh, I'm so confused now. Kai Havertz, you're a fucking moron. So overrated. City pen, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely. There's no way they can get around that. This game's going to be. It's the worst game possible so far in terms of quality. But City are about to be 2 goals clear. You've got to send him off his handball. It's a deliberate handball. Why's his hand up there? I hope City get back to 8-0. Well, they're fucking playing, yeah. What's a mongrel? It's so. I mean, I've said it many times. They're so overrated. Kepa, there's no point. You're not going to dive the right way anyway. Conor Gallagher plays well for everyone except Chelsea. Oh, because he. Well, that's credit to Vieira, because Vieira allows him to play, these players to play with freedom, including Gallagher, in a system that worked for everyone. And he died. Oh, God, what the fuck was that from Kepa? Dives the right way to his right, gets a hand. He has to get a hand to it, put a hand to it, and it still goes in. It wasn't the hardest penalty either in terms of power. Fuck me. What was that? It's City versus Arsenal. Potentially, if Arsenal get through tomorrow, then. Yay! Back-to-back City. Woohoo! Away and at home. Woohoo! In the same month. All because Chelsea can't be bothered to fucking show up. Think of the history as well, right? And it's, again, the changes, you thought this would be even better game in the sense of because of the changes. Both young, got youngsters playing as well. Be more into end today, more open. Oh no! I'm gonna put a poll in. You young pups are too young to remember British punk. Mate, I'm born in '89, so I'm way too young. Way too young. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat in a sec. Actually, this game's just poor now. It's dead. It's done. No, I'm gonna do it now. Actually, but let's put a poll in the chat. Go away, Tom, with that comment. That's uncalled for. knock out Arsenal and C. Mate. We all learn from. We won't do a Newcastle, don't worry. We'll take notice of what they've done yesterday. Knock. I'll use the words knockout. He went with the what he went with, but yeah. Oh dear, let's go and get a bloody poll in place. If it lets me, that'd be fantastic. Oh, there's a I've seen Tom's comment about it was a typo. Of course, it wasn't. Well, I'm not surprised you even fan. Oh, right. Till there we go. There you go. There's a poll to put in the chat. The question is simple: does Graham Potter survive till the end of the season? Yes or no? Simple as that. It can't be. The game's gone now, so there's no point in putting a poll in about the game itself because it's 2-0. It's going to play out like it is. Either City are going to get battered or whatever. We've got a vote already. Got a few votes in. 67%. So 2 are saying yes, 1 saying no. Oh my god. Arsenal on ITV, Koi fans, and Emberdale. Don't forget the Emberdale fans either. Both set of fans will be furious. Would have made more sense to put us on the BBC and have EastEnders a half hour early. But hey. Colonel, there's been a sacking in Manchester tonight. Potter going on his holidays. Does Harry Potter survive another book? I think there was rumours that J.K. Rowling like more books like about more Harry Potter books like in the afterwards as the father now, basically. I don't know how you can fucking go back on the character that's with a bit of help from Neville Longbottom defeated the guy that once and for all, by the way, defeated the guy that killed his parents. I don't know how you can go then back on the situation of years later. Oh, by the way, so and so's back. His arch nemesis is back from the dead again. This is going to be. Oh my god! This game, Chelsea. This is Stefan, behave yourself. Chris is saying, I'm going to say yes. I think he might look at Potter as a long-term project. Never seen Harry Potter either, says Chris. That's fair enough. Not everyone, contrary to popular belief, not everyone has. Being honest there, but I'm one of the few that obviously has. And read the books as a kid, obviously. Didn't queue up for it. I wasn't sad enough to go, oh, the book's coming out. Let's go and queue up at midnight. I just got the book when I wanted to get the book, basically. Like, respect to everyone. Even the films, I weren't like breaking my neck. To go, like, complete sad over. Oh, let's go and watch that, but it's just coming out. Ooh. I swear this thing, I'm gonna cry. Could have caught that, Kappa, but okay. Stefan said I've tried to avoid Harry Potter for years, but they are good. Oh dear. So how are we doing on the old YouTube side of things anyway? Says it all stats. Man City corners 3. Chelsea, none. This has been a much easier game for City just because this much changed Chelsea team are allowing City just to play at a steady pace. And again, they're not even getting out of first or second gear here. It's just they're just going through the motions. But even Man City, they won it 2-0. Ridiculous. $3-0 for fucks. I'll be concerned, Stefan, because in your age, I'll be concerned if you saw me back in the day queuing for anything. That and the fact that we live in different parts of the country. I think he's got to be gone. If it's genuinely, if you're being genuine, Stefan, and not doing what Kenna did the other night, I'm about to find out now. 1 second. The defending is woeful. Look, what's this? How can you call that defending? Foden, yeah, 3-0. Walker the assist. City are through. They're going to be hosting either Oxford or Arsenal in the next round of the FA Cup because Chelsea can't be bothered. It's more of a thing of Chelsea saw who they could potentially have and thought, if Arsenal get through, we could play Arsenal again. No, get out! Let's get out now. They could have ended the 3-year curse that they've put themselves in the last 3 FA Cup finals, losing all 3. Gone out today, put a shift in, knocked out City, and tried to avenge 2017 and 2020 and 2002 from an Arsenal perspective. Fail, obviously, and we get to the final. Hey, but no, we've got to play fucking City now, fucking pretty much back to back, so close to each other. Away in the cup, at home in the league. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I can guarantee you now, though. Assuming we do Arsenal do their job tomorrow and go through against Oxford, I can guarantee you Pep will go full strength against us in the cup. No matter what happens in the league. No matter what happens against us in the league at the Emirates, he'll go full strength in the FA Cup against us now. Unlike this game with Chelsea. Fuck me. Who's got goals? This is not a dull 0-0, but it's a dull 3-0. It's a dull 3-0. Got goals and it's dull 3-0. Fucking hell. And Chelsea honestly think Mudryk wants to go to Chelsea. Are they having a fucking laugh? Chelsea got David Fofana on the bench. Oh, it's not over yet. Yeah, all the pressure on the young kid. Ooh. Come on, Fofana, on you go. Save the day. We're 3-0 down. What can go wrong? Never seen Lion King. Bloody hell. I mean, I can't back you up. That for one, I can't say, oh, hang on. Everyone's still, until you said that, I assumed everyone's seen Lion King at the very least. Especially we're about the same age as well in terms of the animated film. Live action, don't bother with. Pointless. Because they say it's live action, but it's not. It's fucking CG. You cannot do an actual live action Lion King film. It is CGI. So what was the fucking point? Apart from making a bit more money and adding a few different songs here and there, whatever, what was the fucking point? Because it's not a live action as you're putting it out there. You're putting it out there as live action, but it's fucking CGI fucking animal singing, for fuck's sake. At least the animated, because true to its word, it's animated. Oh, Tom, what is going on? you meant to watch the animated and not the recently updated one, the CGI one, as I called it. It's CGI. I don't care what anyone says. Before you know it, they did, didn't they? They did a live action Lady and the Tramp, but it's CGI because the animals are CGI. Never seen Lion King either. Stefan and Elton has done better songs. It's saying it all. We're doing FA Cup third round watch song for Man City Chelsea. Yeah, it's 3-0. Games, the tie's over already. The games, but in general, even though the score on the side, the game's that dead anyway in terms of quality. We've been talking about. I love the FA Cup. I discussed at the broadcasters when they're talking about Harry Potter and films we haven't watched, like Lion King and all that. Fucking hell. You couldn't make it up. No, my gripe is, Colonel, is they portray it. They portray it and they promote it. They actually, in the promoting of it, live action, as in when you say live action, it's meant to be. It's not meant to be CGI. Put it that way. In terms of the main characters are not meant to be fucking CGI. There's like, for example, one sec. I think now, for example, what films am I thinking of? One sec. Trying to think. Bear with me a second. Can't look at DVDs I've got here. That would be like. Dear. Oh, Nemeth, big up Nemeth. How you doing, my friend? That would be like Toy Story, for example. You may as well call that live action then. If you're gonna call if you're gonna go along with the theme of the new Lion King itself is a live action, you may as well then say Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and whatever. I think there's a fourth. I don't know. They're all live action as well. Then the Aladdin remake is live action. There are humans in it. Well, yeah, at least with that, in terms of, they say live action, but a bit of CGI in terms of Will Smith being the genie, spoilers there. But the main characters are all played by human people on the screen. It's not human people voicing a CGI character and portraying it as a live action. And what was it, the director and all that? when you see this live action Lion King, you won't know, you honestly believe it's actually taking part. It's actually being filmed with animals, like real life animals and all that. No, not for me. That's not. And I've seen the trailer. I've seen clips on TikTok and Instagram and all that, and Twitter and all that, and it came out. No, you can tell. Don't talk bullshit. Don't bullshit me, and I won't bullshit you back. But don't fucking make out. Oh, you wouldn't you wouldn't know the difference. You know the difference. You can tell the difference unless you've got a screw loose. You know the difference. I used to love bedknobs and broomsticks this death, and now bedknob taking a different meaning. Yeah, that is not even go there. Especially with Disney. Don't get me started on Disney and the fact that they've gone completely away from the whole concept of what Disney was, the brand itself and all that, what it's all meant for. Meant to be a family-friendly company that produced family-friendly films. Like you got, as I said, in the early, growing up, or you mentioned Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Aladdin, Mary Poppins, the original Mary Poppins. I mean, not the recently Mary Poppins Returns, but with a different actress playing Mary Poppins. Sleeping Beauty, Robin Hood, mini animated ones, Cinderella, Little Mermaid, etc., etc. Not now in the 21st century, we're now in 2023. Not we're going to set up a streaming service. As soon as we get our own streaming service set up, we're going to buy every company we can think of: Fox, HBO, Peacock, parts of Peacock anyway. This, that, and the other. Like, and then literally have our platform where it's meant to be again a platform. Initially, when we put it all up in a family-friendly streaming service to watch all the Disney produced stuff, and that's been in history all the way up till now, and will continue that way forward. Oh no, we're going to buy Star Wars, we're going to buy the fucking Marvel studios and all that. We're going to fucking have it. And now, what is it? In the last few days, I'm on flicking through TikTok, and there's a film that you can watch on Disney Plus via HBO, because they had the rights to HBO products. A film called The Menu, and it's a horror slash thriller, more of a horror. How's that? How can you get? I know it's obviously a lot of money. How much fucking of the old 30 pence shillings have you? I mean, how many pieces of silver have you been given us? Sleep easy at night, knowing you've took a family-friendly product and just gone car washed it with bloody this, that, and everything, to the point where you've got a platform now where you're just literally putting anything you can on that platform, even if it isn't aimed for friends, family, young families and all that, young kids. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I don't agree with it. It's gone completely the opposite way as the whole point of Disney. And when they set up Disney Plus, it was just to have a platform where everyone could literally go there, young families with the kids and all that, could go on there and go, right, Toy Story 1, 2, 3, 4, all the films I grew up watching, the animated ones, Aladdin, Robin Hood, Little Mermaid, all the animated stuff, even the Rescuers and Rescuers Part, like the second one, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Mary Poppins, all that stuff, all in one place for you. They've gone from launching it and having it like that to, well, it's still there, but we've got all this other stuff as well, from stuff that we didn't even make ourselves, that other people have gone and put the work into elsewhere. We're just going to slam it all down your throats. And some of it won't be family friendly either. So keep an eye out, make sure your kids don't come across it, because if they do, they might have nightmares. Why do you think she was called Snow White? Oh, Jesus Christ. Tom says Graham Potter and a $250 million or pounds summer transfer kitty. And he'll still fucking do shit. It's not even, I wouldn't be surprised, Nemeth. Your first comment there about Disney buying a certain site. I wouldn't be, at this point, I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. Oh dear. As I say, it says it all about this game. Take the score on the first, like the quality of this game has been so poor. Apart from the goal when the goals have happened, we've spoke absolute bollocks in this stream. Let's be honest, pardon my French, but still. Oh dear. What about the live? What about again? That's not like for me. That's not live action. That's CGI. That's all the characters are CGI, voiced over by humans in a studio. Not one part of it, and even not only the character CGI, the entire surroundings. It's also nothing's on location. And I mean like that. They just took like film bits on location and then put the CGI characters in. It's all CGI completely. So for me, it's not live action. Jesus Christ, it's gone. This chat's gone to shit now all of a sudden. I can't even repeat some of the stuff you mentioned in this chat now. Stefan, I found fond memories of a little kid with those films. And Black Beauty. Little did I know Black Beauty was actually about. Nevertheless, but my point is, look, why have a product and then just go and completely car wash that product, the product you've all got into, just to go, well, for the extra few bits of silver, we're going to do this, but and whether it's a family friendly platform, but then we're going to do that and then go, hover, non-family friendly, non-family friendly, non-family friendly, non-family friendly. Don't put up. Literally, just keep an eye out because your kids could come across certain things and think it's family friendly because it's Disney Plus and have nightmares afterwards. Oh dear. Shows I'm getting old. That's all I'm saying. You have to set up the profiles in Disney, the adult version and the kids version, but what's to stop? Exactly, there's nothing stopping. Is it actually nothing stopping the kid going, this is what Mummy and Daddy are watching? Thinking it's again because it's Disney Plus, not even really because of the innocence of what they are, especially depending on how young they are. Not thinking that's there for a reason, or whatever. They're just thinking Disney. It should. It's Disney. It's meant to be kid friendly, family friendly. They'll go, Mum, Dad's profile. Good. Oh, I want to see what they're watching this. Nightmares. Scarred for life. But hey, for a few bits of silver. Anyway, I'm going to go cold. The tea beat a war at tennis. Is this the next topic of conversation now? Fictional characters beating a solid war at tennis. Yeah, exactly, Colonel. As I said, I won't be surprised if they do eventually in the next year or two do that. Won't be surprised at all. Stefan saying a lot of Beatles channels were critical of how Disney let it be together. Because again, anything they do now, anything they actually genuinely produce themselves for the platform. There's no care goes into it. It's just like a money making scheme now for them, in the hope that the hardcore fans don't notice. There you go, the little thing for Gianluca Vianney. The little BBC's doing showing a little tribute now to Gianluca Vianney, former Chelsea. And that's another thing. I'm disappointed for Chelsea actually. One sec, let's turn it down properly. An actual legend of the club in recent history, in my time frame anyway, player and manager wise, has passed away on Friday in the last couple of days. You think that again, club wise, that'd be used as a spurring thing, like to get the players motivated for today and give a performance. Nothing. Great Gianluca Vialli video by the BBC. Yep. Some things they do get right, BBC, in terms of, they've had a few days to put it together, but they still got it right though. Yeah, he was the manager of Chelsea when they won the FA Cup as well, weren't in 2000. It was the Chelsea fans are old enough to remember him. That he was a player and then went on to be the manager. The loss will hurt them as well, because obviously the connection he has to the club. But again, the players, you wouldn't think the players nothing had happened. Like the players haven't been given some sort of motivational, using that as a motivational speech sort of thing before kick-off or anything, or in the last couple of days. Ex-players died, legend, as a player, and done something great as a manager as well, in terms of winning the FA Cup in 2000. Italian legend, part of the Italy coaching setup in 2020 as well, for them winning the Euros, what it meant to him personally, being part of that. But from Chelsea's perspective, what it meant for the Chelsea fans if Chelsea could turn up today. FA Cup as well. As I just mentioned, he was manager of the Chelsea team that won the first FA Cup in this century, in 2000. On my birthday, by the way, May 20th, against Villa. And nothing. Even the players that come from the academy playing today, Gallagher and all, nothing. They've shown nothing, not an ounce of a passion or desire to go give that extra bit more, that to honour someone that done something so great for them. Again, I'm an Arsenal fan here, but even to me, that does not sit well for me. Villa currently winning 1-0 against Stevenage. Only 1-0 though. Oh, by the way, apart from obviously assuming we get through tomorrow, next round wise, for one game in particular, we're all Preston North End fans on this channel. Come on, Preston North End, and they're at home, so they've got a chance. Imagine though, having just touching on yesterday's game, Tottenham v Pompey at their shithole. Imagine going full strength, and they went full strength. All but Bowen Foster. They went full strength and they had a full strength bench. Imagine going full strength against a League One side that's in the mid table struggling this season. Just sacked their manager as well, and you struggle. You get out for a scraped 1-0 win. Only Tottenham. Well, Stevens did have the ball in there. Hang on. He looks in line to me, but okay. So Stevens did have the ball in there. Good goal from Villa, though. Roman Abramovich killed Chelsea's soul. Yeah, well, literally, they went from barely surviving at Premier League level as it was with what they were doing at the time. They're barely surviving financially to literally overnight success for 19 years straight, winning everything. And literally, in the end, by the end of his 19-year stint, winning every possible trophy you could win. Because of the success he didn't overnight brought them with the money that he. There we go. Wrexham, Preston, Tottenham, Wrexham, Sheffield, Manchester United get nice easy Reading, Derby v West Ham, Walsall v Leicester, Man City or Chelsea, which is Man City versus Oxford or Arsenal, Brighton v Liverpool or Wolves, so Liverpool either way are going out, either this round or next, Bournemouth or Accrington Stanley versus Cardiff or Leeds. Some of the selected titles have been shown on the screen as I'm speaking, hence why I just read them all out. Guarantee, obviously we know Man City are going through, so assuming Arsenal do their thing tomorrow, I guarantee BBC will win the rights to show that game. I guarantee it. A couple of subs from Chelsea, Havertz and Kovacic have gone off. Zakaria and Fofana are coming on. Fofana making his Chelsea debut. No pressure, you're 3-0 down. Go and win us the game, mate. Turn it round for us. You're doing nothing in the process of giving you service, but turn it round. Sam saying FA Cup winners would never get Champions League spot. How is that even logical? It's bad already with 4 places in the Champions League, every Premier League, what was it? Colonel actually mentioned something after my answer to his initial question. We said he would have a 4-way playoff for the final 4th spot. Like your top, the first, second, and third in the league, automatically in the Champions League, but that 4th spot would be a battle out between obviously team that finishes 4th. Teams that finishes 4th and 5th, League Cup winner and the FA Cup winner, respectively. But then with that, you then have to. You can't even go. You can't really guarantee that whoever finishes 4th and 5th ain't gonna be in that final or win both of them trophies anyway, and the runners up respectively. So there's flaws to it, but there's got to be a way around it. I'd go back to giving the winners of the FA Cup and League Cup a Europa League spot each. Go back to that. Because you noticed how literally when that was in place, how the likes of Swansea and Birmingham City and all that, they suddenly, them sort of clubs that normally wouldn't have a chance prior to that reward being taken away from them, away from the competition, suddenly they're up in their game and actually trying to win the competition because they knew there's a prize of European football. They knew league-wise might not be realistic enough at the time. So they'd use the cups, respectively, to try and get into the final and win it. I mean, even Wigan, 2014, they won the FA Cup and they got relegated, but then the following year, they were in a championship, but playing European football briefly, but still gave them a bit more cash. Even though they pumped the fruit down the river, clearly, because of the administration issues they've been in recently. It gave them something to strive for. And in that final, they knew they didn't have to win it because Man City had finished in the top 4 anyway, so they knew they were in Europa League the following season by getting to the final. So I'd personally go back to giving FA Cup winners and League Cup winners an extra spot in Europa League, basically. And if that team that wins, it's already in Europa League or Champions League respectively, then it goes to the runners-up of the final. And if the runners-up is the same situation, it then goes down that the spot they would have to vacate because of that would then go to the next position post down outside of normally be outside of the European spots, boom down to them. Fourth place team isn't going to score either. Should be just. It used to be just champions. Let's be honest. It used to be. Then halfway through the night, in the late 90s and the late 90s, sorry, going into the 2000s, they then suddenly start changing the rules to get more Spanish teams, more English teams, more German teams, and all that in it, which is pretty much to the point now where you get these spouts of the English dominance. You get the occasional bit of Spanish dominance. The brief Italian dominance, and that went away. I will say German dominance, but it's only Bayern Munich really want to compete for the Champions League in terms of trying to win it, because Dortmund and all of that don't have the facilities to actually go all the way in at the moment to compete. But it's to a point now where we've had in the last few years English dominance in the competition. And you go through these spells, and then once this spell runs out, it'll be Spanish again. So it gets a bit repetitive in terms of the winners and this, that, and the other. It's just like, one way or the other, the winners can come from either England or Spain, and occasionally Bayern Munich will pop up and cause an upset. But apart from that, it is what it is. Never saying lots of Ipswich players in the Escape to Victory film as well. See the lines of Count Dracula, but that's again that same time we talk about fucking officials talking about fucking Dracula, for fuck's sake. I remember the mighty Norwich City beat Bayern Munich. But yeah, as I said, I just woke up. What's the score? The game's over. The tie's over. The game itself has been, in terms of quality, piss poor. But it is. Let me fucking show you. 3-0 Man City. Miles with a free kick. Alvarez with a penalty, which the keeper kept got a hand to. Got down right away. Got a strong hand to it, but still went in. And it wasn't a great penalty either, to be honest. And Walker set up Foden for the third. But if you actually were able to watch the game, you would understand that even though it is 3-0 and it ties over and it's so one-sided in terms of scoreline, the quality of this game has been appalling. Absolutely appalling. Oh dear. Chris Sutton is a Norwich legend. They need to have someone. They can have him. Oh dear. I remember growing up when Chris went to Celtic. Chris Sutton was part of the Celtic attacking set up. Was it him, Chris Sutton, John Hartson, and Henrik Larsson? That was that's back in the day. That's attacking options. That's proper fucking no mercy, like goals from everywhere, all three of them, respectively. But I grew up in that era of SPL, having some of the greatest players in the world in the SPL anyway. Going to Celtic or Rangers. But since then played like the Henrik Larssons and the John Hartsons and the Chris Suttons of this world, and was it Ichi Underground, Broncos. Who else? Gaza and all that. Since they've all sort of retired or left them respective clubs respectively, the quality of the SPL, even before what happened to Rangers happened, it's just fallen off a cliff. It's got worse, obviously, but still. Who was a big Greek forward Celtic had? He had long hair. Talk about them. I mean, I was mentioning the other day in the quiz the other day now. Samaras, who used to play for Man City briefly as well before he went to Celtic. But yeah, Georgios Samaras. Literally came out of nowhere at Man City in terms of didn't hear of him. Was at City, scored a few decent goals. This is before the money came along, obviously, and went to Celtic. Massive upgrade at the time in his career. Massive upgrade, and in terms of his actual career domestically, he went through the roof because he's actually winning things and scoring week in, week out. Did he get added to that? Oh, deflection of the defender. Okay. Let's say. There's another thing tonight. It's documenting that Ortega, the goalkeeper for Man City tonight. He ain't all that. He's beatable himself. He's accident prone. Hasn't been tested once so far tonight by Chelsea. What happened to Gary Hooper? I have no idea. To be really honest there. Celtic would dominate Rangers in Glasgow derby matches and always get hit by a sucker punch. Again, look back in times of growing up, and I mentioned them players there. The title race would go down pretty much every season. Yeah, the title race for the SPL would go down pretty much every season to the last game, last kick of the game, and everything. It made it more interesting because of that. It made that league more interesting. But as I say, as soon as them sort of players started leaving all the time, respectively, from Celtic and Rangers, and the managers, obviously, the quality of the managers digress as well. The quality of the league just got shown for what it's really worth, what it's really all about, really. It's just like, that's why literally it's the old firm, the Celtic Rangers, playing each other, Ibrox and Celtic Park, respectively. I don't really bother with the SPL, if I'm being honest. If I knew Celtic and Rangers were playing each other at Ibrox the other day against on New Year's Day, I would have gone and watched on for that, but obviously didn't know. I forgot about it, and turned out to be a good game. Nice 2-2 draw. One time I don't do a Glasgow derby. It's not one-sided. Every watch along I've done, I said the other day, every watch along I've done between Celtic and Rangers, either at Ibrox or Celtic Park respectively, it always ends with one team trouncing the other, basically. Initially it was Rangers, and in the lockdown season, when they went unbeaten, the Rangers unbeaten season, basically, when they won the SPL on Gerrard before he done what he done and screwed them over. Did the old firms of that. Fucking Rangers just demolished them every time. And then since then, obviously, with Gerrard then leaving, after that, basically before the next SPL, they're defending champions, it's been Celtic all the way in terms of just beating the crap out of them when I do watch-alongs for them and all that. Oh, Calvin Phillips and Cancelo are coming on for Man City. Phillips, I understand, he ain't got many games this season. Let's be honest. Rodrigo's going off. I mean, it's again Manchester Derby. They've got a League Cup game in a few days as well. So yes, I can sort of understand it. Normally, if it's just like this going in next Saturday, I'll be like, what the hell? Why is Asperqueta about to come on? Well, am I seeing Asperqueta getting ready to come on for Chelsea? Yeah, so Rodri's gone off, Gomez has gone off, and Cancelo and Phillips have gone on. Exactly. That's perfectly put, Sam. Perfectly put. Stefan comes back with Celtic v Rangers matches are amazing. That's what we're saying. Apart from them games, apart from them two playing each other, the SPL's crap. Yes, one game. And then did you just spell Asperqueta one way or the other? On the way, mate, you're 3-0 down. You don't bring on Asperqueta. Even at 0-0, you don't bring on Asperqueta if you're a big club. Again, I said it back in the summer under the new ownership when Todd took over and took over from Roman. I called even before when Roman was getting forced to set up his shares. He set up his full shares and all that. I said this from here on in is going to be a massive wake up call at Chelsea, back to reality, back to how they were pre-Roman in terms of performances, how the clubs run, etc., etc. No, they'll be fine. They're going to go for top 4. They'll be fine. They're going to win trophies. This is even that starts after they sacked Tuchel, and Graham Potter was hired. They'll be fine. He's a great manager. And he's a good manager. Don't get me wrong. I'm not having a go at him per se, but it was a massive risk. It's not working. And the transfer policy, I called it out in the summer. I fucking ripped it to pieces in the summer. I'm going to rip it to pieces again now. Todd Bowley has not got a clue how to run a football club, yet alone the transfer dealings of a Premier League, that's in general, football club in general. It just seems like, well, he's popular at the moment in the world of the sport. Let's go for him. That club's after him. They're in the same league as us, and look where they are. So he must be good. Let's go for him. And they have no clue. Oh, he won a World Cup recently. Who did he play for? Them. Let's go for him. But the release clause is 120 million pounds, euro, whatever, 120 million euro. Fine, that's no problem. Can we negotiate can we negotiate how we pay the release clause at all? It's ridiculous, and they're suffering and Chelsea are suffering on the pitch, which I'm enjoying, obviously. Chris, there's no identity to this Chelsea. Exactly. The owner's the owner's only been in. Todd Bowley's only been at the helm 6 to 7 months, respectively. He wouldn't, but hey. But then Tom comes along with Chelsea have an identity. They're a bit shit these days. As I said, back to reality, back to pre-Roman when they were struggling to put rub a penny together, basically. When Cam Bates bought the club for £1 and all that. They're going back to, even though with the financially they've got the money, it's back to them days where they're buying. I said it again about their transfer policy back in the summer. Conor Gallagher's been given the old booking, and Jorginho's been taken off for Azpilicueta, and Ziyech for Traitor Hutchinson. Traitor. Who, by the way, after losing the other night on Thursday to Man City, it's so great to wear the Chelsea blue in my debut, but you lost. But still great. Fuck off. But yeah, as I was saying, Chelsea are going back to days where they I call that their transfer policy back in the summer of, well, I heard of that player. He must be big. How much? No problem. There you go. It's just basically Koulibaly, Sterling, and the majority of the players, Aubameyang, who, by the way, for the year and a half his last stint in the Premier League was shit. Oh well, he played for a London club. He's gone to Barcelona. He's done okay in La Liga, so he must be just because it was at Arsenal. He's worse now than he was at Arsenal, for fuck's sake. That's saying something. But my point is, they're buying these. They're back to what they were prior to Roman coming along, and buying these over the hill, near the end of their careers, footballers. And I mean, I'm after 19 years of having to witness what I witnessed to them bastards under Roman, I'm going to sit back and enjoy this as an Arsenal fan. I don't care what anyone says, because this is now the big we're seeing this season. Isn't going to be a one-off, with or without Graham Potter. This will not be a one-off. Hutchinson must be thinking, why have I joined this? This Colonel. We all know why he went. Money. He thought the success of Chelsea will continue. As a young player, he thought, the success will continue under this new owner. He's got loads of money. I'm getting loads of money for signing on with this club as well. Why, hey. And one of the two things I mentioned there in terms of success continuing isn't happening, which is fantastic. The mid-table now. There you are, mid-table club. Like it or long, but you ain't winning another other people will not be winning another Champions League in my lifetime, motherfuckers. You had your 19 years, you got your 2 Champions League titles, that's it. You ain't fucking pissing me off again ever again. I don't have to deal with that agony, that pain of having to potentially see you lift a fucking Champions League trophy before my club again. No way. And again, I'm all here for it. Fuck me, Gallagher's shit. If it wasn't for Chelsea, we would have won a few more league titles. We would have, yeah. We would have won we would have defended the title in 05. The 04-05 season, we would have defended the title, because if it weren't for Chelsea and Roman, if he hadn't come along basically, and we still got unbeaten 03-04, 04-05, we would have had no challenge again and still won the title. Even if we'd lost a couple of games that we had, we still would have gone and won the title that season. So that's one. What was it? 05, so 04-05, 05, 06 potentially it could have been a title winning season for us. Final year at Highbury as well. 05, yeah, 05, 06, yeah. 05, 06? Yeah, because May 2006 we left, and yeah. So yeah, the last few seasons at Albion would have been literally the three league titles, and then obviously Man United win the title 06, 07. But we would have come second and all that. Again, we wouldn't have had without Roman and Chelsea. I've always said this, without Roman coming along and doing what he did at Chelsea, we would never have seen the swing so drastically of Arsenal, how we fell off, and how we had then changed our policies in terms of how we're approaching bringing players in and out and all that, and having to bring players in, even after bringing players in for 2 seasons, or maybe 3, and selling on for an extortionate fee. We wouldn't have had to do that if it weren't for Chelsea, and we were these amazing teams with the likes of Akleb, Cesc Fabregas, and Lazarus, and all that. and won 4 or 5 titles, at league titles wise anyway, in that time frame. And you don't then know, without Chelsea being the Chelsea that came along with Roman, would there be a Man City that we're seeing now? And then vice versa, a Newcastle situation. We will never know now for definite. But it just went, okay. It's just completely. And David Dean didn't even his book. And he's meant to me before bringing out his book. That completely, Roman coming along when he did, completely fucked us off the pitch. It caught up in no time, basically. And because we weren't ready for that, we hadn't planned for that. Because it was out of nowhere, quite literally. We screwed ourselves into the ground, basically. And we didn't know how to get out, and the club themselves didn't know how to get out of it. Thing is, they have got 2 Champions League. They have, but they ain't going to win a third. They will not be winning in my lifetime. They will not be winning. They will not win a third, fourth, or fifth. They will not win. They will not win another Champions League. There's more chance of us catching them now on the 2 and overtaking them in my lifetime than them winning. There's more chance. My point is, there's more chance of us winning 3 Champions Leagues now than them ever winning 1 Champions League in my lifetime ever again. And that's saying something. So I was reading Tom's comment, so I was okay. Read it out. Tom saying, I have a controversial idea. I like the final 8, 1 City, UEFA Champions League. Oh, one-off games, yeah. So it weren't like 2-legged things. It was the one-off game, weren't it? Yeah. From the final 8, so the quarterfinals, semi-final. Well, instead of 2-legged ties, it was all one-off game. Winner takes all. Stefan. No, I like that. It gave more excitement, actually. No, it was another reason why they did it at the time, but it gave the tournament a bit more that excitement, because obviously, as you say, it's a one-off. Winner, it was on neutral ground as well for the teams, and there wasn't no advantage there. But it gave excitement, and the jeopardy was in that game, so you wouldn't have these 2-legged affairs and have all these tactical masterminds and all that crap trying to fucking see it a 0-0 to the second leg because of the away goal rule and things like that. And instead of scrapping the away goal rule, they should have just scrapped the 2-legged from the quarterfinals onwards, kept with the one-off games. In my opinion, but it is what it is. West Ham won the Champions League more times than us. But back then, though, they didn't have the competition that we have nowadays. We've had in our time in Champions League, and the money we had to compete against, and etc. and all that jazz. Well, I am slowly but surely gaining confidence in this regime at the club in general, just in general here, that they are on the right track. They do know what they're playing at now. Pardon me, and I do have faith that we are going to win. I keep saying it. If we don't win the league this season, I have faith we will win the league. If not this season, next season, we will win it. One of the two. Almost 4-0, Mahrez. We will win the league either this season or next season. One way or the other. In terms of the Champions League, once we're back in it, again, not straight away. I think us being in the Champions League next season, say quarterfinals, the very least, I think we should be getting to quarterfinals, if not push for semi-finals, a final 4 spot. I'll be happy with that. Quarterfinals, semi-finals next season, first season back after how many years, I'll be happy with that. Depending on the competition, obviously, could change in terms of the quality of competition we have. And again, it's the last season next season of the current format before they change it to the all but Super League format for the following season onwards, which I don't like, but it is what it is. Oh, don't tell me Dave's going to score. Get out. Yeah, shit. Thank God we got rid of you, mate. You shit. Oh dear. Yeah, as I say, I have full faith that eventually, one way or the other, we will win the Champions League under this ownership now, which is random because again, if you asked me this 3 years ago, even this time last year, I'll be like, But slowly but surely, they are giving me belief, something I haven't had in my club for so long, and I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. But I have faith now. I knew the next circle of Arsenal success is only around the corner now, and that means in terms of the league titles and competing with possibly European titles at FA, more than just the FA Cup, basically, but FA Cup still, but along with a league title, along with a European Cup success along the way. BX is saying, I just want to be alive for an Arsenal European triumph. I think we will be. So I think it's coming sooner rather than later, my friend. One way or the other. Either next, if it happens next our first season back, give Arteta a fucking knighthood, give him a statue, whatever, outside the stadium as well. But it's more likely going to come under the new format from the following season onwards. It's again, we've got to be realistic in terms of we're all but going to be in the Champions League next season, one way or the other, no matter where we finish in the league, in terms of first, second, possibly third, because that's still mathematically possible. Obviously, it's all mathematically possible. First, second, third, and fourth. But I think we will be in the top. Personally, I think we'll be in the top two come May. But as I say, I believe we'll be in the Champions League next season. But being top two, we'll be in the Champions League. But you've got to be realistic in terms of we want to be back in there and win it. We want to win it next season, but realistically, will we be ready to go the full hog and go? Oh, we're back, and by the way, we're winning it this time. Straight away. If that did happen, no matter what happens in the league this season in terms of us winning the league or not, if we then go back into Champions League next season and then go, hi, and actually win the big ear trophy, first time of asking for Arteta, that's when I think a lot of people then will stand up and take notice and be fearful of what's going down at North London, basically. The important thing is we survived the banter era. The Arsenal fans here and around the world have come across this whenever. We did survive the banter era. We've gone past that now. We're no longer part of that horrid times, I would say. We're coming out of it. We've come out of it now. We're now pushing towards the good times again. Had to wait 19 years, but it'll be 19 years this May. But yeah, it seems like it'll be worth the long wait. Put it that way. Hopefully. So Chelsea have decided to turn up and play a bit of decent football for the last 10 minutes of this game. Way. 18 years is a long time. We need a title. Yeah, exactly. It will be 19 years. It'll be 19 years come May. So it'd be nice to end it this season. Let's be honest. End that 19-year drought now, like this season, as I say. End it on the 19 and boom. Then we just kick on because I think we will. It's not what's happening this season isn't just going to be a one-off, out of nowhere, out of the blue season for us. It's no matter what happens, we are going to kick on. And if we win the league, oh my god, I'm at that trophy. I don't care. I'm at that trophy parade the following day. I'm there. I do not care. I am going to be unbearable. I am going to laud this on the channel and off air like you wouldn't believe. Just because of how long I've had to wait. Not, as I say, we 19. Having to wait 19 years. My entire going from the last stages of my teens, or my entire 20s, seeing my team not going anywhere near winning a league title. To suddenly, in my early 30s, bang, there you go, there's one. And we just kick it off. Either we're kicking on, but that'll just push us even further ahead of the plans, basically, of where we've wanted to be at. And I can't wait. Just end it. The sooner we end it, the better. Obviously, in terms of our drought, since we last won the league. Fucking Chelsea fans have gone there today. There's a sign on my screen now. Some of the Chelsea fans have gone there, but done a mock up, done a little homemade banner. It's basically Vinani win it for Luca, basically. So basically, a little tribute, but also win this game for Luca. But obviously, they didn't. They decided, no, we're not going to bother today. But in the last few minutes, they decided, we're going to play some. For the last few minutes of this game, we're going to play some good football, mate. They've got to get Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher's got to go, mate. He ain't it. And that shows what a job fucking. If this is the real Conor Gallagher, what a fucking job Vieira did at Palace with him then last year. Jesus. It'll be 3 years without a title in May. Go. What are you on about? Oh, that's only if we don't win anything this season. Which we have to draw as the FA Cup draw lessens our chances, but you never know. Why do I get the feeling? Because how the draw's going to, again, assuming we get through tomorrow, why do I get the feeling that for the third year on the trot, we're going to sacrifice the FA Cup again for a league position? In this, it's all kicking off. Chelsea fans getting kicked out, getting escorted out of the state, out of the Etihad. You know. But I want us to win the FA Cup. I've been saying for the last few days as well. It'd be great if we could in our not only our 19-year drought of the league title, but also win the league title, but win a league title and FA Cup like the first double since 2002. That would be so our first title since in would be 11 years. That would be massive. Oh, I loved it. I loved it. When we won double at 98, 2002, and going through the history of the club and sort of thing, you want to know all that. It's so unique. Even now, with all the money in the world, it's so unique to win the league and FA Cup double. Oh dear. But it seems we might have to sacrifice the FA Cup for a third year now. But in this case, in this instance, sacrifice it for the greater good for the league title. I still want the FA Cup. I'd want both. And the thing is that's a mental game. That's a huge game now. Assuming assuming we get through tomorrow, Man City v Arsenal in the next round of the cup. That's got so many implications now going forward for this season. Need to find the dates out for that. But if that game's before or even after we play them in the league, either way, in terms of how the league season plays out, that it could be all come down to how that FA Cup game comes down to now. It could be a situation of the winner of that game goes on to win the title. in the league. Because mentally, the momentum will a switch, and the belief in the respective winners will just go into another level. Oh, that's going to be 4. Get up, handball, get up. How's that a penalty? How long do you want to wait to how long do you want to wait to give it? It was soft, but it's stupid. It's stupid by Nick Barney. Don't get me wrong, for even touching Foden in the penalty box. But either way, there weren't enough for him to go. But then you wait until Foden's on the floor, on his knees, bent over the ball, handballed the ball, and he went, "Actually, no penalty." Fuck me. To be honest, league should be Arsenal's priority. Yeah, league-wise, because it's been so long, because we have won FA Cups recently. Was it 2014, 15, 17, and 2020? We have won the FA Cup recently, with worse teams, obviously, in terms of squad-wise. Riyad Mahrez is taking it. Why? He's not on a hat-trick, is he? No, don't get that. Either way, Riyad Mahrez is taking the penalty instead of Alvarez, but this has gone down well. One of the fame statements we're getting even City right now, mate. What a downgrade! I said it again. I said it at summer. What a massive step back. Guaranteed trophies at one club to a team that's in transition and new ownership. What could go wrong? Down the middle, 4-0. Even if Kepa had gone the right way, you weren't getting nowhere near that. That was a better penalty than Alvarez's. The keeper went the wrong way either way. Jesus Christ. Sterling should have gone back to Liverpool. No, they wouldn't take him. After all the crap that he's dished out over the years since leaving them to go to City, it wouldn't be accepted back by the Liverpool fans. So go back to QPR maybe, where he came. Academy was where he came from. The second half's been, even though it's been the scoreline's so one-sided, so that's a one-sided affair. The quality of this game has been absolutely dreadful. Yeah, there's a comment just saying, I think it's from BX. One second, I'm going to have a look quickly, double check. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I love an FA Cup league and FA Cup double. I love that. That'd be just the cherry and the cake, that will. After all this time, the banter era and all that, and the start of a new era for us. A league title and FA Cup in the same season. That would be yes. Imagine going to play for that. Oh my god, mate! If we win the league this season or next season, the entire area of North London, of our side of North London, the streets are going to be rammed top to from start to finish. Not just in around the stadium, all the way from the start of the parade all the way to the end. It is going to be chocker. Slagging off Liverpool wasn't a good idea. I'm not. Oh, you're talking about Sterling, yeah. That's what I mean. That's the naivety of him. But just go back. He should have gone back to QPR or something like that. If he wanted to go somewhere, he's going to go to QPR, not fucking Chelsea. 89 scenes again. Mate, potentially even greater. That can be possible. Tom, Man City winning 4-0, no crowd atmosphere. But Sam mentioned something. I'm going to look at Sam on 7 points. One sec. There we go. I wonder what would have happened if we'd won the Champions League in 2006. The trajectory would have been higher, and we probably would have generated and used more money. Yeah. Well, we saw we saw with Barcelona. I mean, Barcelona weren't the team they went on to be. Obviously, at that time they were still a beatable. They were a beatable team. They weren't the dominant team they would go on to be. And I honestly believe, I've said it a few times over the years, if we'd won that Champions League, not just what you mentioned financial wise about sponsorships and things like that, but being able to generate more money into the club as being not only European champions, but the first team in London in general to be the European champions, the money that would have generated and all that. And the pull we would have had going into our new stadium as well, getting top quality players. I've said it again, I say now, if we'd won that Champions League, not only what you've mentioned, Sam, but I also believe we would have gone on and had the dominance that Barcelona had. Because and that would have gone with the fact of the financial generating money we could generate for the club by being European champions in that season and all that. We would have gone on and just pushed and been a completely different animal to what we became. Oh, there's a penalty at Aston Villa for Stevenage. League, and it's 1-1. Yeah, 1-1. Stevenage versus Villa. So there's a potential replay there for Stevenage unless they can make a win at the end here. Bloody hell. I said we last won the league in 2004. That I will dye my hair red if we win the league. I hope my friends forgot I said that. Oh dear. I'm sure they'll remind you. Just keep away from this channel, and you might be okay. But then again, you've just told us all, so technically you're in trouble. I don't think you have a choice. Fucking hell. Me and Miles have been being a man of the match. 2 minutes injury time. Thank God this game. Even as one on it's been in a scoreline, it's been dead. And he wouldn't. Oh no! Don't say Stevens has scored against Miami's Villa. Stevenage has the upset's on League 2. Stevenage are 2-1 up in the dying moments against Aston Villa at Aston Villa. Unai Emery. Oh my God! Again, this is why I love. Again, let's go back to what I said earlier. This is why I love the FA Cup. You don't get this at any other competition. You know what? I might actually switch over to that, actually. If I can, once more control. It lets me quick enough because it's game over now. Yeah, switched it over. I switched it over now. Fuck it. Lots of last minutes here. So I got into 2 minutes of injury. Oh, Villa down to 10 men as well. You got sent off a Villa. 2 minutes of injury time they're into, but of 6, there's 4 more minutes to go. My old park. Well, I've switched over. I'm on iPlayer. I'm on iPlayer, so I switched over to Villa now. But again, this is why I love the FA Cup, because you get these upsets. You don't get this in any other competition, not just in terms of League Cup buys, but in general, in terms of any domestic competition, you don't get this. Oh, it made me laugh there. Tommy made me laugh. I'm going to say, thank God I saw my food before I saw that comment. I would have choked otherwise. Tom, I'd hate to be the team Villa play next. Oh wait, it's Leeds on Friday. You home or away for that, by the way? You know him, he does not like the FA Cup, does he? Because and he's only full season. The only time he played, he's managed in the FA Cup before. We won the third round game, got to the fourth round against United and lost at home as well. It was ridiculous in the end. I think it was 3-1 in the end of the night. Friday night as well. Went there with brother, fuming. I came out of that play at the Emirates that night. I remember when Wrexham beat us in the cup. I'll be honest, because I didn't know the draw was actually happening today. I thought it's tomorrow. But when Wrexham got through yesterday, I was like, you know what? If we were to get through on Monday, because of the history it have between Arsenal and Wrexham, I'd want Wrexham in the next round. Home or away, I'd want them because of the history that has that fixture that it has in the cup. Because then guarantees it would have been on TV, but obviously if we do go through a guarantee to be on TV because it's Man City, but still. Stephen's got to be careful now. Got the last minute and a half of the game. They've got to be careful because it's at Villa Park, so there will be VAR in at this game as well. Is it Villa Park? Oh, bloody. Okay. Worries you then? I don't think Leeds will. No, Leeds will be fine. I think they'll be fine, but I'm a bit concerned that they've let Glick go halfway through the season before an offer's even officially come in. They've basically confirmed he's out of here. Got to be offside. Oh, we went. Oh, bit of a shithousery there from the Stevenage player. We're into the last 30 seconds here at Villa Park. It's now or never Villa. They have to score on this attack, which they're not going to do because they're pumping into fucking Watkins of all people. I predict Potter will stay. It is what it is. I was full time there because I switched over before it finished. So that's full time. Chelsea are at the FA Cup. At a whimper as well, which is it is what it. But if you'd have thought with the added equation of an ex-manager and player Gianluca passing away on Friday, you thought a bit of added spice to the game and all that might give him a bit of a kick up the backside. Nope. This is it now. That's it. Villa out of the FA Cup as well. The upset. You won't get unless Arsenal lose tomorrow. You will not get a bigger upset in the FA Cup this weekend. The only way that happens is if Arsenal lose to Monkeys Oxford. That's the only way that this gets outdone. Again, it goes back to what I said, staying in self-strength. This is why I love the FA Cup. But Unai Emery doesn't like the FA Cup. 3 games he's managed, lost 2, won 1. Fucking the Stephen fans are giving it after the Villa fans as well. That is huge. Congratulations to Stevenage. Promotion chasing Stevenage of League 2. That is mad, but it's getting as a part of the FA Cup. And that's why no matter how little BBC and ITV promote all this, or lack of promoting it anyway, you always get this in the FA Cup. You can't get this anywhere else. You cannot get it anywhere else. Full stop. Oh dear. Nimrith saying, imagine West Ham and Everton go down. That would be great. I think Everton, the longer Lampard's there, there's potential. There's rumours that they're trying to get Rooney in, that the Everton ownership are trying to get Wayne Rooney in to replace Lampard, which is stupid. That's just, again, with all due respect to Wayne there, you're asking for trouble there. You might get a little bounce here and there, but it'll be the same as you got last year. And then but this time you will go down. And then what? I'm just going to go over and check out our little poll and end that and see how you guys said about that. Long way. There we go. Right, let's have a look. All right, 10 votes, ending the poll. We had 10 votes from you guys, so got all you that voted. Thank you very much for taking part in the poll. 60% said yes, does Graham Potter survive to the end of the season? 60% said yes, 40% said no. Gig was way too big for Frank. He hasn't been sacked yet, obviously, but there's rumours that going around that they're sourcing out Wayne to take over from Frank. Until that's dealt with, they won't sack. They'll keep Frank on board until then, basically. Rooney replacing Frank is suicide. Yeah, exactly. They might get the odd bit of a manager's bounce in the home games at Goodison Park because obviously he's ex-Everton and all that. So the fans might be a bit, well, hey. But it'll be suicide. You're just asking for the inevitable to happen. You may as well just stick with Frank and then bin them off and then get someone that's proven to get you out of the Championship next season. In that case. But hey, that's hard to come by, especially when the club's been financially running to the ground way it has done over the last 8 to 10 years. But yeah, I'll say there now. But I'll say that. I'll imagine that the meltdown. Imagine West Ham sack Moyes, he goes to Everton and Everton sacked Empire, and he goes to West Ham. Imagine the meltdowns. West Ham fan TV and chill. Toffee, or was it the Everton equivalent? And yeah, Everton equivalent of that, and put with popcorn and chill. Jesus Christ, it'll be a complete clusterfuck, basically. Oh dear. This ain't going to do any. I mean, how can you go from beating Tottenham? I mean, Tottenham ain't all. I'm saying this, but Tottenham aren't exactly swashbuckling. I mean, Pompey proved that yesterday, only losing 1-0. That's a full stretch Tottenham against Pompey as well. But you beat New Year's Day. You're beating Tottenham away 2-0. You build this into the game. You come into it. You get the win, and then since then it's been back to reality. Imagine a meltdown, mate. It would be a complete and utter. I say it'd be complete and utter clusterfuck at both clubs. It'd be like coming together at the end of the world, basically, for both clubs respectively. That's it. See you in the Championship, guys. If that happened, they would both go down. Definitely. Well, I think Evan might creep in actually. Anyway, with Lampard or without. Oh dear, but it is what it is. Leave them to it. Again, I'm disappointed with Chelsea. After I made it perfectly clear. I sort of kept quiet. I kept it to myself. But after that draw was made, before the draw, I wanted this to happen in terms of Man City winning, putting Chelsea in the up, putting Chelsea to the sword and all that. And even though the scoreline suggests they did do that, they didn't have to get. It's such an easy game for them today. They didn't even try. If we're being honest, apart from Foden's goal, they didn't really have to. One's a free kick, two are penalties, and obviously Foden's goals don't play. So apart from Foden's goal, there's already 2-0 by then, made it 3. They didn't really have to do anything today. They didn't have to turn up. Right? They did realistically, they didn't, but it's still. they still got through because of how poor Chelsea are. I mean, the more I see Chelsea this season, every game I'm watching them, highlight form or live, the worse they look defensively. I mean, they weren't all that on Thursday, but they still looked somewhat solid to pull some sort of miracle off on Thursday. You think they'd go from that, use that platform, and go into today's game and try and do something like that. They did nothing. Both teams went weaker, a lot weaker in Thursday. Bit of experience in both teams, but not to this same level. But Chelsea just gave all 4 goals were given to City on a plate. But now it's that potential mouth-watering tie in the next round of the FA Cup. Again, you've lost Newcastle. Would have been one of because of their financial aspect they've got nowadays. One of the favourites going into this tournament this weekend. They're out. Liverpool hang on by the skin of the teeth, and they could be out soon in the replay, if not the next round. With Brighton around the corner, so they could be out. Chelsea are out. United have gone through. They got ready, so they'll be through to the 5th round as well. And you're going to lose and assuming Arsenal go through tomorrow, you're losing either Arsenal or Man City in the next round. So it could, from the 5th round onwards, it could be literally just Man United and Man City or Arsenal from the 5th round onwards. Because again, as far as I'm concerned, Liverpool, they're lucky, even though they're in the replay, they might get through the replay, but they ain't got Brighton away. If Brighton turn up, Liverpool in trouble, and we've seen this season they're not all that either. They were lucky yesterday. Let's be honest. A dodgy call at the end saved their blushes there at home as defending champions. So yeah, we could lose. The majority of the favourites could be out by the end of this match. Before the 4th round comes along. As I say, Newcastle gone, Chelsea are gone, Liverpool could be gone. If not, they'll be gone in the 4th round. And in the 4th round itself, you're going to lose Man City or Arsenal, and that leaves either Man City or Arsenal, along with Man United from the 5th round onwards. If we get, assume we get through tomorrow, depending on when the fixture falls for the FA Cup game at Man City, depending on when that falls, as I say, I think whoever wins that goes on to win the league. But then also to add to that, we'll probably go on to win the FA Cup. The way things are falling at the moment for the competition so far already. But yeah, anyone but Liverpool could. I don't care who wins it now. Tottenham won't win it. The reason I didn't mention Tottenham before, because they'll be out sooner rather than later. One way or the other, they won't win it. Anyone but them or Liverpool, I don't mind who wins the FA Cup out of that, because okay, apart from Tottenham, Liverpool, City, United. With what's left now, actually, apart from them, I mentioned anyone else, apart from us, obviously, if we can't win it, anyone else, but we know that's not going to happen. Well, Tottenham won't win it, because I'm not worried about them. United, the way things are going, it could be set up for them to do it. Again, it could be 5th round. By the time the 5th round draw comes along, only 2 of the big boys left in it. In terms of the favourites, in terms of the initial favourites, only 2 left by the 5th round. If things play out the way they could do, and with two of the big favourites going, definitely one of the 2 going out, definitely in the next round. Sorry, don't want United to win it. Anyone but United, actually, because I want them to keep away from my fucking. It's a cup, right? Anyone can beat anyone. I know that. I know it. It's the FA Cup, and Stephen just proved it. But my point is, suddenly the draws, because again, you've never had back-to-back games where in terms of City, from a City perspective, they've got Chelsea today. And obviously when the draw was made, it was the two of the favourites going head to head for the third round. But the fourth round, then the winner of that would not be playing up against another favourite. It would be an easier opponent, so to speak, to see if they can get through that and sort of push that narrative into the quarterfinals. Same for the quarterfinals then. But now it's literally like Man City back to back. They've knocked out one of their rivals for the trophy, but they've now got to come up against, potentially, if we do our job tomorrow, Arsenal, who are also going for the titles again. And because of that added equation to the situation, that could have a huge impact on the league title as well. The winner of the FA Cup game could then would more likely go on to win the league, in my opinion, because the mental switch for the winner will just go up to another level, and they'll just kick on. Then if anyone but the Spuds won't, we're fine with the Spuds. They won't win the FA Cup. They're fine. Don't have to worry about them. But United, even though there'll still be one behind us if they do win it this year, I don't want them to, because as I say, there'll be one behind us. I'm like, back off. Oh dear. Anyway, I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to have my food, chill for a bit, and prepare myself mentally for what's coming tomorrow of the FA Cup. Because, as I said, the only thing that now would be a bigger upset than Villa getting knocked out now, Stevenage, is if Arsenal get knocked out tomorrow to Oxford, which I can't acknowledge that's going to happen. But it's FA Cup. You don't know it. You can't call it, but we should be fine, even with a few changes. I do expect changes to the 11 tomorrow. Starting 11 anyway. There's rumours that Smith Rowe will be back in the 11 as well. Get a run out. This would be fantastic to see him back and get some minutes under his belt, ready ahead of the North London derby, and then come the North London derby, rest him for the bench. But as I say, even with changes to our starting 11, I think we should, as long as we turn up in terms of performance wise, we should be more than enough to get through tomorrow. But then they've got the incentive of, if you get through, you're playing your title challenges. So mentally, it could be a huge thing there. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow to say. That's what I think. I'll be back half hour before, and I need to double check. I've set the stream up. The stream is up and ready. So go over and give that a thumbs up and set your minds on for that, so you don't miss the start of that, guys. But we will be going live. I'm just checking for you now. If it lets me, if it shows me. 7:30 tomorrow evening we'll be going live for that. That'll be myself and Liam, and hopefully Gary will be able to join us as well if he's around. It is Monday, obviously work and all that, so he might join us at some point during the stream if he can. But aside from that, I'm gonna, as I say, go and have myself some food here. I'm cold now, but yeah, it is what it is. And get some rest, and as I say, get myself ready for promoting the life out of tomorrow's stream on all the platforms. But yeah, can't wait for it. I actually can't wait. The FA Cup. I love the FA Cup. I keep saying I won't do the FA Cup. So we go again tomorrow, 7:30. Myself, Liam, and anyone else that's around. I think Sam. I did mention that Sam is on IT. So if Sam's around, I'll make a series of if he wants to come on or not. Because it's on ITV, we'll all be in sync. No one will be out of sync and all this, that, and the other. Hopefully. We'll all, as it happens, we'll all see it at the same time, basically. Aside from that, I'll see you guys on the other side. Enjoy the rest of your evening, morning, and afternoon with you on the world. And as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.